Chaos and confusion as a crowd clashed with federal law officers during a raid in South Minneapolis this afternoon. FBI agents in fatigues had to get escorted out of that area by local law enforcement for their own safety. We have team coverage on this developing story, starting with WCCO's Reg Chapman and photojournalist Chris Cruz, who got caught in the middle of the chaos.
It was a little before noon when people who live near Bloomington Avenue and Lake Streets noticed federal agents gathering near a business there. They quickly called for people to show up, and they did.
I don't think they realized the community would respond so quick and kind of create a human barrier. So you can kind of see them strategizing a plan to get people out.
Within minutes, the crowd grew, and so did their calls for Minneapolis police and Hennepin County Sheriff deputies there on scene to leave.
The Minneapolis police should not be working with federal agents. We are a sanctuary city. The community will not allow it.
Federal agents with big vehicles and guns on Lake Street.
Yeah, just instantly, got violent, and, people started trying to stop them.
The crowd moved whatever they could in the path of officers and deputies as they escorted federal agents down Lake Street. Some threw garbage cans. Tires were also thrown. We saw pop bottles and bricks hurled at law enforcement, and some responded with force.
Yeah, I got pepper sprayed a few times.
Protesters thought this was some sort of immigration raid, but in a statement, Mayor Fry said this incident was related to a criminal search warrant for drugs and money laundering and was not related to immigration enforcement. No arrests were made. He says MPD's only role was helping with crowd control and keeping the community safe. Whatever was going on, many in the crowd say some who were sent in to keep communities safe were aggressive.
As we saw them come back and assist by taping off the area and putting up police lines and pushing the community back.
With photojournalist Chris Cruz, Reg Chapman, WCCO News.
Within the past 2 hours, we learned a new Homeland Security task force headed up that operation. Our Adam Duxter picks up our team coverage from the newsroom. Adam, what have you found out?
Yeah, Frank, they said this is the first of those in Minnesota under the Homeland Security Task Force umbrella. In a statement, Homeland Security said federal investigators conducted a groundbreaking criminal operation, which they say marks a new chapter in how they confront complex, multidimensional threats. We asked what that meant, but they did not respond for our request for comment. We also just got this picture that shows, or appears to show, agents outside of a second location of that same restaurant. This was taken in Bloomington this morning. But nothing like the show of force here in Minneapolis. This operation happened in one of the most densely populated immigrant neighborhoods in the entire state of Minnesota. People there say seeing the large armored cars in law enforcement with guns, seemingly with no advance warning, sends a message of fear. Immigrant advocates say the community today is struggling to figure out how to react.
A lot of people's doors were locked. Businesses they're locking up because they're afraid. What are they looking for? Why are they here? And they don't know. If the city says they're a sanctuary city and the police doesn't work with ICE, because they went on the news and said they don't work with ICE, why were they here today? Why were they helping them?
And Frank, obviously this stems from a search warrant. So we went to the federal courthouse and found those search warrants, in this case, still sealed.
Okay, well, we'll follow up on that. That'll be interesting to determine what they were there looking for. Stay with WCCO News. We will have continuing coverage of this story, and we'll have some of that for you tonight at 10.